This is Minecraft Alpha, a version so old it doesn't even have beds. And yet, it shows you something modern versions don't. Exactly how much your world weights. And today, I'm going to try something that no sane person should ever attempt. I want to make a Minecraft world weight 1 million megabytes, or, in simpler terms, 1 terabyte. But what does that even mean? That's enough to store 100,000 copies of Minecraft, 10 million screenshots, or more blocks than you could ever place in a lifetime. So I bought a new hard drive. Gave myself 30 days and set out to do the impossible, to create the largest, heaviest Minecraft save file ever recorded. And I'm not just trying to hit 1 terabyte. I want to reach the far lands, once in the overworld and once in the nether. This isn't just a challenge. This is an experiment that might break Minecraft Alpha forever. Will my PC survive? Will the world reach 1 terabyte? Let's find out. First, I need to create a new world. My journey begins now. Before everything broke, it started like any other Minecraft world. I spawned on a beach. The trees looked the same. The sky looked the same. So I did what anyone would do. I punched wood. I built a little hut, nothing fancy, just enough to survive the night. Then I dug straight down, because I'm reckless, and found coal, iron, and eventually diamonds. First day diamonds, classic. At night I fought off mobs under a full moon, skeletons, zombies, even a creeper. That almost ended it all before the challenge even began. It felt like normal Minecraft, peaceful, familiar. But what I didn't notice was the world had already grown by almost 4 megabytes. It's barely 1%, and from this moment on, it would never stop growing. Next day, I woke up in my little hut, ready to keep exploring. Today, I stopped playing Minecraft and started pushing it. No mining, no building, just one direction, forward. My only goal was to load as many chunks as possible, to stretch the world file, to see how far I could go before the game started fighting back. So I walked and walked, through forests, over mountains, across oceans. I didn't stop. Every step was data. Every chunk, a few more kilobytes burned into the world. By nightfall, I had traveled thousands of blocks. The game was still stable, and when I checked the file size, it had jumped to 79 megabytes, a 75 megabytes increase in just one day. This world, it's growing slower than I thought, but I'm going to continue. If loading chunks on the surface wasn't enough, then maybe I had to go deeper. I dug straight down, all the way to bedrock. No torches, no ladder, just stone, silence, and that old-school alpha darkness. My pickaxe chewed through block after block until my entire inventory overflowed with cobblestone. Along the way, I found more iron and even more diamonds. Minecraft Alpha might be broken, but it's still generous. Then I changed directions. I climbed up, past the trees, past the clouds, and started building a floating bridge. Chunk after chunk loaded far beneath me, like watching the world unfold from orbit. It was beautiful and dangerous. One wrong step, and the whole day could have ended in a 5-second fall. But it worked. By the end of the day, the world had only grown by 10 megabytes. That's very low. Hopefully, I'll get at least 100 megabytes the next day. Today, I wasn't just exploring, I was optimizing. Instead of heading in a straight line, I walked in a giant spiral, circling outward from spawn, wrapping the world like a web. The idea was simple: load as many chunks as possible in every direction without wasting steps. Every twist of the spiral added layers of data, dozens of new regions, thousands of new blocks. But I didn't stop on the surface. Halfway through the day, I dove underground again, following cave systems, mining ores, and stumbling on yet another patch of diamonds. It was starting to feel routine. By the end of the spiral, the world's size had climbed to 105 megabytes. But when I looked at the total progress, I had only added around 100 megabytes in 4 days. And for a moment, I thought about quitting. 1 terabyte suddenly felt impossible, stupid even. But something in me said, just go a little further, and I did. By the end of this video, the number you'll see on screen will be far bigger than I ever imagined back here on day 4. I tried something different. I spent hours crafting rails, smelting iron, placing rails, all to build a minecart line that stretched across the land. The idea was simple. Ride far, fast, and smooth. Let the chunks load while I sat back and enjoyed the ride. It felt efficient, almost relaxing. Until I checked the world size, from 104 megabytes to 108. 4 megabytes for all that work. Turns out, minecarts don't load chunks nearly as well as walking does. Or maybe Minecraft Alpha just hates trains. Whatever the reason, today was a bust. But I wasn't ready to give up. Not yet. After 5 days of running, digging, and glitch hunting, I just wanted to build something. So I started working on a castle, 64 blocks wide, 16 blocks tall, made entirely out of cobblestone. That meant hours underground, mining, smelting, clearing space. My inventory overflowed 3 times, just gathering enough stone. And then, block by block, tower by tower, the castle began to rise. I added a proper gate. It has an interior complete with wall stairs and a storage room. I didn't need to do any of that, but for the first time, this world started to feel real, like it deserved more than just data abuse. By sunset, I had finished the castle. It wasn't great, but at least I tried. It felt like progress, until I checked the world size. From 108 to 115 megabytes, 7 megabytes. That's all I got for one of the biggest builds I've ever done. But maybe this challenge isn't just about numbers. Maybe it's about building something worth saving. After 6 days of grinding, I finally accepted the truth. Building castles, riding minecarts, mining thousands of blocks, it wasn't enough. At this rate, I would never reach 1 terabyte. So I broke the rule I swore I wouldn't. I turned on flight. It wasn't a proud moment. It felt like cheating, like failure. But the goal was never to play fair. It was to push this world to its limit. So I flew. Not high, not low, just straight forward, all day long. I flew thousands of blocks. If day 2 was a slow walk through the wilderness, then day 7 was a missile across the terrain. And it worked. By nightfall, the world had grown from 115 megabytes to 410. In just 1 day, my world gained 295 megabytes. It's more than all the other 6 days combined. Yesterday, I broke my own rules. Today, I broke the limits of speed. I didn't just fly, I doubled it. The same endless line forward. But now, the world had no time to breathe. Chunks tried to catch up. The terrain blurred, mountains flickered into existence beneath me and vanished just as fast. This wasn't gameplay anymore. It was pure data farming. I flew for hours. By the time the day ended, my world had grown from 410 megabytes to 888. 478 megabytes in 1 day. No builds, no mining, just raw velocity. It didn't feel like Minecraft Alpha anymore. It felt like I was testing something this version was never meant to handle. After 2 days of raw speed, I wanted to try something different. So I turned to the most destructive force in Minecraft Alpha: fluids. water, lava, everywhere. I flew over the world, spamming flooding mountains, filling valleys. Streams collided. Waterfalls formed out of the sky. Lava carved out entire craters. The world looked completely broken, like it had sprung a leak. Chunks took longer to load. Lag started creeping in, and I thought, this is it, this has to work. But when I checked the file size, it had only gone from 888 megabytes to 931, 43 megabytes. That's all I got from drowning the world. Just 70 megabytes short of 1 gigabyte. Apparently, Minecraft Alpha doesn't care how wet or flammable your world is. I came back to the castle I built on day 6. It looked smaller now, not because it changed, but because the world around it had become so much bigger. But I still loved it. So I decided to protect it. I grabbed my tools and started digging. Around the entire perimeter, I carved a massive trench, deep enough to reach near bedrock. It took hours, layer after layer, block after block, and then I filled it with lava. It wasn't just for defense, it was for data. By the time the last bucket was placed, I opened the world folder and checked the size. Surprised, almost can't believe it, 2003 megabytes. Over 2 gigabytes in one day. It was the single biggest jump so far. Maybe it was overkill, but now I had a fortress, and the world had a new weight to it. After flooding the world with lava yesterday, I needed something quieter. So I did what every YouTuber dreams of doing. I placed signs, lots of signs, 1,000 signs, and every single one said the same thing, like and subscribe, please. That's it. That was the whole day. I don't know if it'll help the video, but it definitely helped the file size. By the end of the day, the world had grown from 2003 megabytes to 2053. 50 megabytes of pure self-promotion. No regrets. I wanted to do something biological, so I built a massive fenced arena, big enough to hold an entire biome. Then I placed pig spawners, dozens of them, and I waited. Minutes passed, then hours. The pig count slowly started to climb, then skyrocket. By the end of the day, the fence was overflowing. Literally, pigs were pushing against the walls, clipping through the fence, stacking on top of each other. There were over 1,000 of them. It wasn't Minecraft anymore. It was a pork-based particle system. And the world file? It jumped from 2,053 megabytes to 3,007. That's nearly a full gigabyte in one day. Turns out, pigs are heavy. After pigs, lava, and castles, I wanted something more destructive. So I built a massive cube. Just a giant block of dirt, a monument to nothing, and I wrapped it in TNT, hundreds of explosive blocks, placed carefully across every surface. And when it was done, I lit the fuse. The explosion lasted forever. My FPS died, the world froze, and Alpha Minecraft nearly blacked out. Then, silence. I looked around. Dirt was raining from the sky. And the world size? It jumped from 3,007 megabytes to 3,388. Apparently, Minecraft Alpha remembers every single particle. I went back to what works best, flying straight ahead to load chunks. But this time, I wasn't just flying fast. I was flying 3 times faster than before. Chunks flew past like a blur. The sun barely had time to rise before I'd already crossed entire continents. It felt like I wasn't even in control anymore, just watching Minecraft struggle to keep up. And by the time I finally stopped to breathe, the world had grown from 3 gigabytes to over 10. 10 gigabytes in one day. That's more than the size of some entire modern games. After the madness of day 14, I wanted to slow down. So I stayed in one place and built, not one house, not 10, but over 100 tiny homes, each one a near-perfect replica of the old Minecraft in-dev starting house. Those cozy little cubes made of mossy cobblestone. They looked ancient, almost nostalgic, like a forgotten memory of Minecraft's earliest days, copied over and over like a glitch in time. It took a while, but I filled the ice with a miniature village, like a colony lost to history, and by the end of it all, my world had grown from 10 and 2 gigabytes to 11 and 1, just 100 homes, added almost a full gigabyte. Today I only did one thing. I placed a few blocks of obsidian and spelled out 3 characters, 1 terabyte, a tribute to the goal, a reminder of how far I still had to go. And in return, my world grew by 2 megabytes. It was totally worth it. Today, I wanted to go deeper than ever before. Not just to bedrock. I wanted to reach the bottom of the world, literally. So I turned on cheats and started digging through stone, through logic. I carved out entire chunks straight into the void, giant pits of nothingness, where the world just ends. And the deeper I went, the more broken it all started to feel. But it worked. By the end of the day, the world had grown from 11,195 to 11,626, a 431 megabyte pit carved straight into the heart of Minecraft Alpha. Back on day 4, I walked in a spiral, trying to load chunks outward from spawn, slow, methodical. But today, I wanted to try that same spiral from the sky. I started flying in wide circles, orbiting the world like a satellite. New land generated below me, and I just kept going. By the end of the day, my world had jumped from 11 gigabyte to 29 gigabytes. This day gave me 18 gigabytes from one endless flight in circles. And suddenly, this insane goal didn't feel so impossible anymore. "19 days ago, this whole thing started with one tiny shack. A starter house, a chest, nothing special. So today, I came back to where it all began, and I decided to absolutely destroy it. I didn't hold back. TNT, lava, water. I wanted chaos. This was less about data and more about therapy. I watched my very first house turn to smoke. It felt like I was doing something massive, something heavy. But when I checked the world size, my world had jumped from 29 gigabytes and 700 megabytes to 30 gigabytes and 64 megabytes. For all this chaos, I only got 200 megabytes. Seriously? I thought that was going to be way more. On day 20, I did absolutely nothing. No building, no flying, no explosions, just thinking. It's been 20 days since I started this, and I've only filled 30 gigabytes. That's 3%. And I only have 10 days left. The math wasn't on my side. I needed 970 more gigabytes in 10 days. I was in a weird place, depressed. What worked? What didn't? What truly pushed the world to its limits? And suddenly, I think I figured it out. Day 21. Everything changes. Yesterday, I said I figured it out. And today, I'm gonna prove it. I analyzed every single day, and the answer was obvious. Nothing increases world size like chunk generation. So I got a new flight mod, one that lets me fly 1,000 times faster. And the moment I took off, everything started to break. Lag, glitches, whole regions refusing to load, but I just kept going. By the end of the day, I had flown nearly 3 million blocks. And then it started. My player started shaking, stuttering. Far lands weren't supposed to exist here, but I think I got too close. Chunks, they break everything. But they build the file size. By the end of the day, my world had jumped from 30 gigabytes to 48. 18 gigabytes in one day. Now I know the way forward. I didn't stop. After flying over 3 million blocks yesterday, I just kept going. The lag was worse. Every few thousand blocks, the terrain started to ripple. Water flowed upwards. Trees floated midair. At this point, I'm almost certain I'm close to far lands. I flew several million blocks today again, and I didn't stop once. Walking feels wrong, like my character is constantly being pulled in every direction at once. I don't think Minecraft was ever meant to handle this. Tomorrow, I think I'll finally reach it. By the end of the day, my world had jumped from 48 gigabytes to almost 77. Today, I gained 28 gigabytes. I think I will finally reach 100 gigabytes tomorrow. It took over 3 million more blocks of travel, dozens of chunk glitches, and 3 full game crashes. But on the 4th attempt, the world loaded, and that's when I saw it. Farlands. The corrupted edge of Minecraft's world generation, the result of floating point errors, the place you were never meant to see. I tried to go further, past the edge. The game couldn't take it, but I made it. From 77 gigabytes to 105 in just one day. Finally, I reach 100 gigabytes. Today, I did the same thing, but in reverse. Only this time, I wasn't flying 1,000 times faster. I was flying 10,000 times faster. Chunks couldn't keep up. Minecraft crashed again, and again, and again. But eventually, I pushed through. The world grew by almost 70 gigabytes in one day. I'm not even halfway there yet. The overworld was easy. Fly forward, load chunks, crash the game, repeat. But today, I entered the Nether. Here, nothing is open. Everything is walls, lava, one giant maze that I have to mine through. I only made it 500,000 blocks today, and I have 5 days left to reach the Nether Farlands. It might not be enough. The world grew by almost 6 gigabytes in one day. I need a better plan. Yesterday, I realized something scary. At this pace, I'll never make it to the Nether Farlands in time. Mining through solid netherrack for millions of blocks? Impossible. But then I remembered, there's nothing above the Nether, just an empty void, right past the bedrock ceiling. So I broke through. And just like that, the path was open. But it wasn't perfect. I couldn't fly too fast. Every time I tried, Minecraft crashed. This wasn't like the overworld. The Nether is fragile, unstable at this speed. Still, I made progress. A few million blocks. The world grew by 36 gigabytes in one day. It's working slowly, but it's working. These last 3 days were a blur. I flew non-stop, 3 to 4 million blocks a day, straight toward the Nether Farlands. Every few minutes, the game crashed, but I kept going. Then, something stopped me, an invisible wall. I couldn't fly any further, but I wasn't done. I downloaded a no-clip hack, and suddenly, the Nether couldn't stop me anymore, and I continued flying until day 30. And finally, on day 30, I reached them, the Nether Farlands. The world grew by 173 gigabytes in 3 days. I didn't reach 1 terabyte, but I crossed oceans of corrupted terrain, exploded mountains, built monuments, broke through dimensions, and made it to the farthest edge Minecraft can handle. I didn't get 1,000 gigabytes, but I got something way harder to earn: the end. This world is broken beyond saving, but it's mine.